Hi, I'm John, and this is Product Spotlight. Today we have something a little different from Atlas, so let's head over to the workbench and take a look. All right, so here's what we're looking at this time. It's a dual head signal, and we call these, where I live, Darth Vader signals. They're hooded signals. And this one has one signal head facing in each direction. If you look on Atlas's website, under HO scale and then signals, you're going to find that they have a whole range and a whole system. That's why it says signal system here at the top. And this happens to be what they call the HO scale signal type G, bidirectional. So these are listed for $36.95. And it's been my experience that if you shop around, you can find stuff like this for less than what they list it for on their website. So your best bet would be to go to the Atlas website, see what they have, and then shop around. There's not really a whole lot to tell here, but I will show you what it looks like we usually do here on these product spotlights, and point out a few things that maybe struck me. For example, the ladder looks pretty to scale. Might be a tiny bit overscale, but it looks really good. If you put this down on your layout, it would look especially good. And looking at it from this angle, you can see it has the electrical box here with the conduit that goes into the base. And you can also see the little supports around the four parts on the base there at the bottom of the pole, right? That looks really good too. So I've seen signals just like this out on the real railroads, and this looks just like them. And then if you look into the head here, you can see it actually has three distinctly different LEDs, and each one of those carries with it a different color, which I'll show you here shortly, but I did want to point that out. Now, the last thing I want to show you on this is how good this platform looks. I can't tell just looking at it, but it looks like a piece of photo etched metal. And if it isn't, they've done a really good job, because it's very much see-through. I put the stick under it, you can see, or behind it, you can see that it's actually very much a see-through piece. Now, before we light this thing up, I just wanted to point out that it comes with these little plugs installed. And my understanding is that these plugs coincide with some of the other plugs that come on the other Atlas signal system products. So if your model railroad doesn't have these plugs, that's okay. You can cut them off at the base of the plug and strip the wires. And what they've done here, conveniently, is they've color-coded the wires so that the yellow is the yellow light, the red is the red light, and you can guess the rest. The green is the green light, and then that black wire there is the common. So it's pretty straightforward to wire these things if you need to, and if you're doing it by stripping them and taking the supplied plugs off. So because I don't have an easy way to light these things here at my workbench, I'm going to take this model over to my friend Seth's house. He owns a company called Model Railroad Control Systems, and one of the things that he specializes in is signaling. So we're going to take these over to Seth's place and light them up so I can show you what they look like, and then we'll do a conclusion here. So what we'll do here is we're going to light up each of the three colors of LEDs, and I'm going to show you in regular daylight, which this is, and then also in the dark, like this, for each color. Something else I want to mention is that this red looks much redder in person than it does on camera. The yellow also looks more yellow in person. And here it is in the daylight and in the dark. The green also looks better in person. This is just a limitation of the camera that we're using. But I wanted to show you all three in both the regular daylight and in the dark, because presumably people will be using this signal in both scenarios. So that gives you a clear idea of how it works and how it lights up. I think Atlas has done a really good job with this signal. And as someone who's been out rail fanning the prototypes, I've seen these kinds of signals quite a bit. And it's pretty spot on for what I remember seeing out along the main lines. I want to thank Seth for helping me light the thing up so I could show you the lights. It was a lot of fun and it was a great excuse to hang out. So thank you very much, Seth. And great job, Atlas. I'll see you all next time.